All right, all right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I know y'all said, where's she coming from? It's been a minute since we did our community awareness talk show. But we are here today, yours truly, the Princess of Radio Evangelist DJ Renee. And we got Miss Alma, and she gonna tell you what her name is, and she gonna introduce herself and tell you all what she does and what she represents, and we're going to be talking to her on this evening, along with others have been invited to come in. So if they can figure out how to get on, I'm sure they will come in as well, as we want to talk about the election that is going on right now, early voting, if I understand it correctly. And then early voting is going to end this Saturday, and then it's going to have a regular voting. Ms. Emma is going to tell you exactly what day it is, and she's also going to talk about things like what you need to do to make sure you can vote in the November election, and what you may be able to still do to vote in this election. So we're going to pray, and then we're going to get ready to get started. Father God, I thank you. I thank you for this day. I thank you for this time. I thank you for this space. Lord, I thank you that you just allowed us another day, God. And God, I thank you for this young lady that is going to be talking to the people about voting and what's on the ballot to be voted for, along with others who may visit later before we get off the air. God, I thank you for each of them. God, I thank you for their knowledge. I thank you for their dedication to trying to make the community and while we're on this earth a better place, God. And God, we just say thank you, God. God, I ask you, Lord, that you would go before us, God, and that you would lead us on what to say, how to say it, that we won't be offensive to anyone unless we need to be offensive, because sometimes it needs to be done. Even in your word and throughout your Bible, there were times where you had to have your prophets and whoever put their foot down and just plain tell it like it is. So, God, we just thank you, God, for giving us the discernment to know when to pull back and when to go forth, God. And we say thank you, God. And God, we just ask you, Lord, that you would bless her, God, that you would let her be able to word it the way it needs to be worded, and anyone else that comes on the platform, even myself, that we'll be able to say the things that need to be said in a positive way, that it might help someone. And Lord, we pray, God, that this video is shared abroad, that many will get the information they need as they are voting this week, as they are going to vote on the 16th, as they are going to prepare to vote on the 3rd of November, God. We hope, God, that this avenue will be an avenue that will be helpful. And Lord, we'll be careful to give you all the praise, and we'll be careful to give you all the glory and all the honor. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. Okay. All right. We're going to let you tell the people who you are, Miss Emma. And I ain't pronounced your last name because I didn't want to mess it up.
Well, I'm Alma Chasez, and I am the current president of the League of Women Voters for Tangipahoa Parish. We are a young organization. We are not quite 2 years old, and we were formed so that we could go into the schools, the high schools, public high schools, and register the 17 and 18-year-old students to vote. We want people to vote. We are a nonpartisan organization. We don't tell people how to vote, who to vote for. We tell them to register to vote and to vote. That's our most important activity, and we give people information about voting and the changes to the voting laws. Now, early voting has already started. Early voting for the May 16th election, on May 16th, you go to the polls, the physical polls, and you vote. But early voting for that election has already started. It started on May 2nd. It will continue through May 9th. You may early vote at the office of the Registrar of Voters in Hammond, or the office of the Registrar of Voters in a meet. Those are the two early voting locations. And if you want to double check the hours that they will be available for you to go and vote there and as an early voter, I would suggest that you call their office, and they will clearly tell you what those hours of operation are. Okay, we have, for the first time in a long time, we have closed primaries now in Louisiana. And what that means is if you are registered as a Democrat, they will give you all of the candidates who are listing themselves as Democrats for a particular office to vote on. If you are a Republican, they will give you all of the people who are registered as Republicans and running for a certain office, that ballot to vote on. If you are registered as no party, um, or what used to be independent, the legislature got rid of the independent party. If you were registered as an independent, you are now considered no party. And so when you go in to vote, they will ask you, if you are no party, which ballot you wish to vote on, the Republican side or the Democratic side, and they will program the machine accordingly to give you access to that particular ballot. This applies, the closed primary system that I'm just telling you about, applies to only 5 races. It applies to United States Senate, United States House of Representatives, Louisiana Supreme Court, Public Service Commissioner, and the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, frequently referred to as the Bessie Board. Those are the only 5 closed primary elections that we have. Everything else will be the same as it always was. If you have a mayor that you're voting on, it will be a jungle primary. All candidates will be in the same primary. If you're voting for a parish council person, the same thing. It is just those 5 races that I told you about: United States Senate, United States House of Representatives, Bessie Board, Public Service Commissioner, and Louisiana Supreme Court, that will be the closed primary system. Okay. And again, what they will do is, if you are a Republican, registered as a Republican, they will give you a slate of candidates who are running for, let's say, Supreme Court, that are registered Republicans. If you are a registered Democrat, they will give you the people who are listed as Democrats and running for Supreme Court. Those will be the people that you vote for. If you are no party, you may opt in to vote on either ticket, not both, either. Okay. Now, this will apply to the election that's coming up on May 16th. There will be a runoff election on June 27th, and the same system will apply as far as the closed primary system is concerned. In the past, we've had 2 elections. We've had a primary election and a general election. Now we're going to have 3. You're going to have a primary, a runoff, and a general election. At the general election, you will have the opportunity to vote on both a Democratic and Republican candidate. But up until that, for the 5 elections that I told you about, the 5 seats that I told you about, it will be a closed primary system. Now, if you want more information about this, you can either go to the Secretary of State's website, and they have some videos that deal with this, or you can go to parlouisiana.org, PARLA.org, and they have written information about it as well. Okay, so it's new. It's different. Um, and we're all going to have to work our way through it, I suppose. But this is what the legislature has decided to do for those 5 elections only. Now, there's some confusion right now because the governor um, canceled more or less the election for United States House of Representatives because the Louisiana Supreme Court, not the Louisiana Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court issued a recent decision in the Calais case, which questions or finds that the constituting of congressional districts needs to be rehandled. It was a redistricting case. So the governor canceled the election for United States House of Representatives, which was on the ballot. Now, that doesn't mean there is no election. There is very much an election on May 16th. On May 16th, you will be asked to vote on United States Senator, Louisiana Supreme Court, in some cases, Public Service Commissioner, and there may be some people from the Bessie Board. I don't know. The point is, because the governor canceled that one election, it doesn't mean all elections have been canceled. They have not been. They are very much ongoing, and you need to go to the polls and vote on May 16th. If you early vote, you need to go now to early vote. Early voting is May 2nd through May 9th. And again, you go to the Registrar of Voters office in Hammond or the Registrar of Voters office in Amite to do that. If you vote by mail, you already have your ballot. Vote it. Vote everything on it, including the race that the governor has since canceled. It's on that ballot. Vote it. If it is decided after litigation that he had a right to do that, your vote will still be of record. Vote it. Don't ignore it. Okay. Uh, Now, there's an election May 16th. That's not this Saturday, but next Saturday. There will be a runoff in June because there are so many people running. For example, for United States Senator, I seriously doubt one person's going to win the first time around. It'll probably be a runoff, and that race is June 27th. If you are not registered currently to vote, you can register to vote in the June 27th election. You can't register to vote for May 16th. They've already closed that. The time to have registered for that is already over with. But if you will be able to vote in the June 27th election if you register to vote. Um, if you're not registered to vote and you want to vote in June 27th, your last day to register online is June the 6th, or to go in person May 27th to the Registrar of Voters and register. If you are not currently registered to vote and you are 17 years old or older, you can register to vote. You may do it online through the Secretary of State's website, or you can go to the Registrar of Voters office and do it there. But please register to vote. Your vote is your voice, and you need to speak. And this is how we speak in a civilized society. We vote. We vote. Okay? Um, After these 2 primaries are over with, the next election you're going to see is going to be in the fall. It's going to be in November. Um, November the 3rd. So you're going to see activity now and you're going to see it in the fall. But what's happening now is very, very important. Okay. You don't wait till the fall to vote, you do it now. You also need to know that in Tangipahoa Parish, there are quite a few people, and when I say quite a few, I mean over 10,000 people who are listed as inactive voters. Just because you voted in the last election doesn't mean that you're not on that list. What the registrar did was send out some cards to verify where people live, and if they didn't return the card, they're going to be listed as inactive. When you go to the polls, if they tell you you are an inactive voter, ask them to let you sign the affidavit that they have at all the polling places, which will take you out of inactive status and then, in most cases, allow you to vote. But if they tell you that you are an inactive voter, they should offer you that affidavit. If they don't, you ask them for it. Okay? So that's a lot of information at one time. I realize it's very important information. Um, but I think I've told you everything that you need to know for the present, um, about what you can expect. And again, we are the League of Women Voters of Tangipahoa Parish. We are a nonpartisan group. We don't tell you how to vote, but we do tell you that you need to vote. Okay? So I don't know if I've made myself clear enough, or if you're coming up, with questions that I need to answer. Did you? Oops.
All right, Miss Am, I think you did a good job. Um, and but I'm here if there's anything else that you can think of, because some others have been invited and they said they were going to try to get on. So I kind of like extended the time out. But I just hope the people that are listening is getting exactly what you're saying, and realizing that there have been some people who have been put inactive. Um, and I know when we were at the last second Saturday gathering, the awareness and action group, you were saying that they had until the 15th, but that was so close, um, to go in the local office and get their stuff together. But at one time but that was before. Now since they already in the election, like you saying, and they already in the early voting, there's no time to even go online to fix anything because early voting has already started. Is that correct?
You can't fix it online. You can't change anything online right now. But if you are on the inactive list, they should give you that affidavit and let you vote because you signed the affidavit. Um,
Okay.
they're trying to verify people's addresses. If you're still living in Tangipahoa Parish, you sign the affidavit and you should be able to vote. If you're still living in the precinct where you have always lived, that you should sign the affidavit and be able to vote. If you have moved out of the parish and you've been out of the parish for over 3 months, living out of the parish for over 3 months, that's another part of the affidavit uh, that they're going to ask people to sign about it. But if you've been out of the parish for more than 3 months, they're not going to want to let you vote because you should have updated your voting information and you didn't. But if you still are in the parish, I mean, for example, if you moved from Hammond to Ponchatoula, you should be able to vote. Okay,
Okay.
or or if you're still living at the same address, for sure you should be able to vote. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you moved from Hammond to Covington and you've been in Covington for 6 months and you haven't changed your information, that's a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, okay. So
All right.
they're basically trying to make sure and verify where everybody's living, that's voting in a certain parish or voting in the city or wherever they are voting at. And that's across the board for the whole Louisiana, or is that just Central Parish or what?
No, it's for the whole. It should be for the whole state. For the whole
Okay.
state. Now, I would strongly suggest to all of your viewers that they download the Go Vote app on your phone or your
Mm-hmm.
computer. It's spelled GEAUXVOTE. It's sponsored by the Louisiana Secretary of State. If you go on the Secretary of State's website, there'll be information there of how to download the Go Vote app. It's free. Your tax dollar pays for it. And it has a lot of good information on it. It will tell you if you are listed as an inactive voter. At the
Okay.
top of it, the first page, when it goes in and recognizes you, it will show active or inactive. Mine, for example, shows me as it shows green as that I am an active voter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you a whole lot of other really, really good information. It will show
Okay.
you where your precinct is that you go to vote. It will show you what your personalized ballot looks like, so that when you go to the go in the voting machine, the ballot that you see will be the ballot that you can see on the Go Vote app, because it's your personal ballot. It's not a generalized ballot, it's your ballot. It will tell you when elections are, it will tell you when early voting is, it will tell you where to go for your to do early voting. It's got just a whole bunch of really, really valuable information on it. So I strongly suggest that you download it. And again, it's the Go Vote app. GEAUXVOTE vote. Go vote. And it's put out by the Secretary of State of the state of Louisiana. It's a safe app, no viruses, no malware, and free. And I have used it any number of times. If you vote, for example, absentee, you can check and make sure the status of your vote, of your ballot, that it's been counted. It tells you who your elected officials are. It tells you your specific voter information. Mine, for example, tells me I live in Robert, and so it tells me where my polling place is in Robert, and it shows green, which says I'm an active voter. Okay, so I cannot suggest more strongly that people download it, because it's got really great information on it.
Yes,
Okay.
it really does. It really does. Because when you talked about it, the last second reference, I immediately, just like Brother Frednet did, I immediately went over there to see what it was saying about me. And it had my ballot and everything that I had to vote for in my area. I was hoping that you might
Mm-hmm.
knew some of those answers, or some of those things that they had on there to vote, like some of the propositions, because they got a lot of them on there. Um, I'm trying to see, because it seemed like I screenshotted some on my phone, uh, but they have a lot of them. I should have had them like on here where I could have pulled them up, but they had a lot of different things that they were talking about, that you would have to vote yes or nay. But I know they have this one that's going to be in the Chatsworth Parish area, because this is something that they're sending out. But I know you say y'all don't tell yay or nay. But this one is asking the people, do they want to keep it like it is, to have term limits for the president, the parish council, as well as the president. Because for years they didn't have term limits, and I just heard in the grapevine that they wanted to keep different people in, and they wasn't ready for the person to leave. So that's why this has come up again. But in the past, people were staying in as long as people vote for them, because I know Garden Burgess, we kept voting for him, and kept people kept voting for him and kept voting for him, and he stayed in about 30 years almost. And so people wanted to change that. So they voted to make sure nobody could stay that long again. So now it's back on the ballot again, and people need to understand what it's saying. If you check the box, you're saying you want to keep it where they can only do um, 3 terms, I think. They can only do 3 terms because that's the way it is with the city council in the city of Hammond, which they added to them. They used to do 2 years, but they added a third term because I think it made them get more benefits when they finish. So people need to understand what they're voting for. So for the parish president and parish council term limits, if you put a check, from what I understand in the reading, that means you want to stay like it is and for them to have term limits. And if you don't want them to have term limits, you'll vote no. Can you help me with that, Miss Alma? Is that correct? What that is saying?
I really,
Have them
I
check
really
into
can't at this. I really can't at this point. I'd
it.
have to
Okay.
read through and see what it says. Let's see.
Okay. Okay. It says on. I don't know. It said, "Don't let a judge decide our term limits. Vote yes to keep term limits in Tetford Parish. A current lawsuit C-20250001743 is challenging how term limits were approved 11 years ago. If the court overturns it, term limits could be eliminated entirely." So they said the May 16th election settles the issue, legally affirming term limits and making them retroactive to the 2016. Uh, so they say just if people are for them to vote yes to protect term limits in temporal parish. So just my understanding of what I'm reading here, they're saying that they didn't like the way it was did 11 years ago when they changed it, and so they got a lawsuit against it, and they said the judge is trying to decide if that was illegal, did wrong, and if they should overturn it. But they saying they want the people to speak, and if the people said they want to turn the limit, that's going to eliminate that. But if they say they don't want it, well, there's a possibility that the judge can take it in their own hands. That's what I'm understanding just for reading the brief explanation that I mean the simple explanation that's on this card that was. In fact, I got it out the mail today. I got it
Okay,
out the.
I'm looking at what's the actual ballot language is right now. And this is saying this is what you're being asked to vote on. It says the president, meaning president of the parish, shall be elected at large and by the qualified electors of the parish for a 4-year term beginning on January 1st, 2016. No president shall be allowed to serve more than 4 consecutive 4-year terms. So that's a total of 16 years.
Okay, so they do four instead of three. Okay, I know the city council in Hammond do three, so four. Okay, so is that what they're already
This
doing?
is saying 4. Yeah.
So they're already doing 4 consecutive terms.
Uh, I don't know.
Oh, okay, but that's what that's
That I don't know. I thought it was. I thought it, they would do. I don't know whether they were doing 2 or 3. I don't know.
okay.
But this, I
Okay.
mean, this is based. This is saying that you're voting on whether to allow the president to be to be uh, uh, to be allowed to serve no more than 4 consecutive 4-year terms. So I guess the question is, I don't know whether they're increasing it from 3 4-year terms to 4 4-year terms. I don't know.
Right.
And the same
Right.
thing seems to be the case for the city council, the parish council. That beginning January, no council member shall be allowed to serve more than 4 consecutive 4-year terms. So they have
Oh,
to run every 4 years, but they can't run more than 4 4-year terms consecutively.
okay.
So I guess what you'd have to do is consider what's done. in other parishes, you know, because, for example, in New Orleans, the mayor can run for a, 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 an original term and one additional term, a total of 8 years.
Okay.
And everybody, I guess, different parishes can do it differently, but it's a question of, is 16 years something that you would want to limit him to? If you want to limit the parish president to less than that, then this language may not give you what you're looking for, is what I'm
Right.
saying. and
Right.
and that's a
Yeah.
matter of, personal, personal preference and consideration.
Yeah, what people think personally about that. Um, and like I said, there are several other things on there. Yes and no things. Miss Jean had like a meeting. She's gonna try to get on a little later, but I I had asked some others to come on that kind of, because I know you always have a lot to say, so I knew it could take a little while, and so I had some others that were supposed to maybe come on to talk a little bit too. I had also invited uh, several other people to come on to talk, maybe even a couple sponsors that I know that are candidates that sponsor the platform and stuff. I told them that they had the
Mhm.
opportunity if they would like to come on. They have not came on yet. Even Mr. Perkins said he wanted to come on, but sometimes he have problem trying to trying to get service at his
Yeah.
house. Sometimes, okay,
But
and
let me point out that there are five constitutional amendments that people are being asked to vote on. If you want to find out more about those constitutional amendments, go to Louisiana.org. They are a nonpartisan group. They review these amendments and they give you the pros and the cons, and then you can make up your own mind as to what you want to do about each of these amendments. Okay, and they're a reliable source. Parlouisiana.org.
okay. All right, y'all heard
Okay.
what she said. Go to that. But the only thing about that, Miss Alma, what I know about people, and I can speak for me in the past and my people, uh, like people, they a lot of the older ones, like my mama, they are computer illiterate, and they don't have the the know how or the time to do all this internet stuff. So, because I'm so amazed at you got right on here, and I have some young people that can't get on here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I am amazed at you that you got right on here. So, but I know you do all this kind of stuff. So you got right on here. So trying to get all these people to different people to get on here. Talk a little bit for me, Miss Alma. I got to check something. Talk a little bit for me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's certainly good to be with you. I wish we had some people who could call in, because then I could know a little bit more about what people want to hear about and what they're concerned about. Um, it's just so important to vote. Uh, right now, voting in Louisiana is just horrible. It's abysmal. People don't go out and vote. The last juvenile judges race that we had for Tangipahoa Parish, which was so very, very important, fewer than 10% of the eligible voters in Tangipahoa Parish voted in that election. And that's just terrible. And even for races like governor, they don't go out and vote. And and then they complain when they see things not working the way they want them to work. um, then they're upset and complaining about it. Well, if you don't vote, you don't have a right to complain. And voting is a very precious right that we have, but we also don't talk nearly enough about responsibilities of being a citizen, because your right to vote is a right, but it's also a responsibility. Uh, Nothing is going to work properly if you don't get out there and make your voice heard. And that's what we at the League of Women Voters are so anxious to try and light a fire under people. We don't tell you how to vote. We don't know the things that are of true concern to you in your personal lives, but we know that things don't work properly if you don't get out there and voice your support. Find out who the candidates are. There are going to be some candidate forums uh, within the next few days. I think that Mr. Perkins, through Second Saturday, is going to try and do an election forum, and there's one going on tomorrow that Indivisible, I think, is sponsoring in Hammond. Uh, Candidates will be there. Make the time to go and meet some of these people. Um, that way you can find out what you think of them. Um, I mentioned to you that the last juvenile judges race, we had such a low voter turnout, but we had a candidates forum where all three of the candidates came. And when I left that forum, I knew who I was going to vote for, but I also knew that all three of those people who were running were valid candidates who could have done a good job. But if you don't go and vote, you have no right to complain. And your community is not going to be better for it. You have to go out and make your voice heard. It is just so very, very important. Um, it doesn't take you that much time to do it, especially with early voting. The lines are not going to be that long. But we've got a lot of controversy this time around with the governor canceling that election, and that's all the more reason for you to go and vote, and make public officials aware that you are interested in what they do, and that you realize that their jobs are important. Okay.
Right. If we have somebody listening at this time while we are live, and this is Tuesday, May the 5th, and it's about 7:09, and we've been on about 30 minutes. And if you are listening, and if you want to call in, ask her something, you can call in. I want to say that I have you calling in at this time. It's going to be 985-634 1051. If you would like to call in at this time. If you would like to ask something you didn't understand, something that we might can clarify. She's talked about how some people have been put on inactive because they haven't voted in a while. But then we find out if you voted, some people have been put on inactive because a lot of us don't check our mails and confirm that we are still residents of a certain area and that we are still wanting to be a part of the voting process. And so sometimes we don't know because um we don't check our voicemails and stuff. But I do want to share this with you right now as we wait to see if anyone else is going to come on. As we wait to see if any of you want to call. Uh, I'm gonna share with you this flyer because Miss Emma will also be at the second Saturday awareness and action group. I believe she's always there, so I know that she's trying to stay in the mix because the candidates will be there, and like she said, they will be doing a little talking about briefly about some of what they plan to do and would like to do, and asking for your vote. So I'm going to share these flyers with you at this time to let you know that something is going to be about. And I'm gonna put a little plug in there. Y'all see, it's running at the bottom. Welcome to community awareness. You may donate to the ministry of yours truly, Evangelist DJ Renee, at Cash App Z capital R lowercase ENEESTW or Venmo at Zero W Melodies or online. Or you can always give me a call. It helps us be able to take time out of our busy schedule and come on these farms and just do anything it is to get word out for the community. Um, that's not the phone number to text me at. The phone number to text me at is 985 662 uh, 4738, 985 662 4738. But we try to bring you positive information. We try to be involved with whatever is in the mix for a positive and better community. So this is one of our broadcasts. We have several broadcasts, but this one here is the community awareness talk show. Spreading love and care. All right, well here's the flyer for this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday, Mr. Perkins wanted to come on, but he'd be so busy in meetings, he may be able to come on, or one of his representatives may be able to come on. But let's share this flyer with you. Okay, this is going on this coming Saturday. This coming Saturday. It's going to be at 1600 Phoenix Square, Hammond, Louisiana, on this coming Saturday. I'm sorry, I said Friday. Saturday. It's a special feature, candidate speaking opportunity. So if you're a candidate out there and you didn't know, you have a speaking opportunity, but you know they can't stay there all day. And this Saturday, we know people are going to be in and out because there are some very well-known people that will be funeralized on this Saturday as well. Uh, they're going to be talking, candidates speak in public, officers are invited to speak. Each candidate will have 3 minutes. So, 3 minutes is not a lot. 3 minutes is not a lot, but they will be there saying something, but you can also pull them to the side and talk to them. You can pull them to the side and talk to them. And I'm going to give each candidate an opportunity to be able to get with me, even though they would have to do some sponsorship. Uh, People like Miss Alma, she's doing a free will thing with her organization, and she's doing like a volunteer community thing with her organization. So I automatically invite people like that to come on. For everybody else, when it comes to campaigns and stuff, everybody got advertising money for that. So we are also an advertising company. So, well, anybody want to come in, they already know, just contact me and I can tell them what they have to do. And the only thing they actually have to do is sponsor my upcoming event, which is going to be on the 18th of July. If they sponsor that event, they have a platform that they can come on, and they can always get in touch with me to find out what they have to do to sponsor that event that's coming up for July the 18th. But other than that, they will all be at the second we call it the second Saturday awareness event this weekend, and you can hear them speak for 3 minutes. And if they haven't heard about it, we're telling you now. You have three minutes to talk on this coming Saturday. You do not want to miss that if you're a candidate. Um, so they have on this flyer. Join us as we discuss youth development, crime prevention, education, community solutions. They said, why should you attend? You can meet your local leaders. You can hear from candidates, stay informed, be part of change, and also get a free breakfast. That's delicious. Also, I'm sure some of you have been seeing this sign from Mr. Jamie Davis. He's going to be there, from what I understand, and he's running for the U.S. Senate candidate. And Mr. Judge Perkins has always got my back, and he is a proud sponsor of my platform. So therefore, I can advertise whatever he's got, and he has a candidate. So a candidate is going to be there that's going to be speaking. It says second Saturday awareness action group. Be informed, be engaged, be the change. And then they said greetings from Hammond, Louisiana. Again, the community meeting, United States Senate, Tangipahoa Parish School Board information, all of that you can find out. And guess what? I have a few tickets left, and they are $2. They got a huge raffle. We're having a huge Mother's Day raffle, and they have three prizes, and the third prize is a big old Mother's Day basket. So you want to do those $3, and you can also cash out me $3. Send me $3 and I'll put your name and just give me your information. Or either text me at 985 662 4738 and tell me that you want to be a part of that raffle, because they will do the drawing at this meeting on this coming Saturday. And somebody did ask me today when I gave them the flyer, because I passed out the flyers for Mr. Perkins today, and I'll be passing out some the rest of this week. But somebody did ask me, would the museum be available for viewing? And I see on here that it is going to be open. It says the museum is open for viewing. Come early and enjoy the rich history of our community. And Michael Showers was supposed to be on today, so he just left his meeting. Hopefully, he can make it to the house and get set up and come on, because he may have some information also about the NWA CP when he gets on. I told him to come on when he gets home. So anything, if y'all want to ask Miss Alma anything about being a part of, and I said volunteer, but Miss Alma, is your organization volunteer? Do you volunteer? Do the people in your organization volunteer to be of service to the community? Because I know you do a lot of stuff. Is it volunteer, or is it a job, or what is it?
It's totally we're a totally volunteer organization, and we try and support people who are interested in the voting process. We go in, as I mentioned to you before, we go in the schools and we register the high school students to vote when they're old enough to vote, and provide information to people about what they can expect to see on the ballot. Again, we don't tell them what to vote for, who to vote for. We tell them to vote. And we have gone to different rallies, and we want to speak to the community. We want to be involved. We want them to be involved. Um, and so, yes, we are totally volunteer, totally.
Awesome, awesome,
And
awesome.
anybody who's interested in working with us, we have a website. It's the League of Women Voters of Tangipahoa, and we have a Facebook page. And we are, we're very happy if you want to work with us. We're very happy to have you work with us. We went to the farmers market in Hammond this past Saturday and talked to people about voting and answered questions and told them how to register to vote and how to update their registration. And any questions that we can answer, we answer for them. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So on this Saturday, will you have any? Well, they told me they kind of stopped doing that, but will you? Are you one of the organizations that they have qualified and gave permission to bring registrations to, like, if people come out there this
We
Saturday,
will
you register them to
we
vote?
will be we will be at the second Saturday program this Saturday. We will have a table. We will be offering people voter registration. We will be answering questions. We will have some handouts for people explaining the closed primary system. But yes, we will definitely be there.
Awesome,
And
awesome.
we thank Mr. Perkins for including us.
Okay, okay. So how about the uh, how how about the I'm sorry. How about the ones who have had felony records? Because I know an individual that had a felony record, but they done got a lot of stuff straight, and their felon is way over 10 years. So if they came to the second Saturday breakfast on Saturday, how could you all help to get them reinstated? Or could you help to get them reinstated?
We will definitely talk to them. It's probably going to be easier for anybody with a felony conviction. And we have run across this before. We don't want to, unless they have their papers with them, we don't want to give anybody some fault, some inaccurate information based upon them giving us inaccurate information. Because if you have a felony conviction, there is a way to reinstate your voting rights. I mean, it's no longer the case that since you have a felony conviction that you can never vote again. No, that's not true. That's not
Right.
true. So we can talk to people about that and see if we can't get them on the right track, because we
Oh,
want you to vote. I mean, you're out in society, you're paying taxes. You're paying taxes. You have a right to have a say in what happens with your government. You're paying for it.
yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am. That's what I said
so
too. You have a right. You have a right. So yeah. So some people don't know that they have a right after they have had a felon and stuff like that, and they be saying, "Oh, I can't
right.
vote because I had a felon," but now that's no longer the case.
Mm-mm.
Uh, there's some
That's
things
no longer
that
the case.
right. So we don't want to look. We don't want to hear that excuse no more. They had that excuse for way too long. So we don't need to have that excuse because we need you know how they got a song talking about boots on the ground. We need all boots on the ground, and we need everybody voting because you can't get nothing done if you don't have people voting. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be
Right.
done, and you have to have people
So
voting.
if there are people there who are concerned that they have a felony conviction, if they will talk with me about it, we'll come up with some kind of plan of action that will allow them to either know that they can have their voting rights restored, or where they stand. We're not going to just shoot people away and say, oh, you have a felony conviction, there's nothing that can be done. No, that's not true.
Right, right, right. Because there's a lot can be done. We in
Yes,
a
yes.
yeah, we in a new era. Years ago you had a whole lot of stuff, and people have fought for so many things. Now I know that's not really your avenue, but I'm hoping Mike will come on and I know it's not really your avenue, but can you tell us anything? I saw on the news. I was by my mama house because all she do is sit there and listen to all that stuff and get upset. But can you tell me what this vote just happened, where they keeping people in Louisiana from voting or something on that line? But they done. It was an old rule or something that probably made you
Yep.
able to vote, but now they trying to stop minorities from being able to have a pretty much vote. Do
You
you know?
may be talking about the recent Supreme United States Supreme Court case called Calais, and
63. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And what that had to do with is the congressional districts, the drawing of the congressional districts in Louisiana. Um, the black people are constitute something like 30 or 32% of the um, electorate in Louisiana. And the
Okay.
Supreme Court felt that, or came down with a decision saying that the manner in which the current districts were drawn was unconstitutional. I'm not going to comment on whether I agree with that or disagree with that. I'm just telling you that that's what they said. And because of the fact that they ruled in that case and said that there was something wrong with the drawing of the congressional districts in Louisiana, based on that decision, the Governor Landry, suspended the election for Congress people in Louisiana until redistricting could be done. And that's what I said to start out with. There are other elections that have to do with Congress that have not been suspended. For example, US Senate. That race is going forward. It's just the race that has to do with who's going to be the congressperson for one or more districts that's been suspended. And and that's still playing out. That is still playing out. Um, and I can't comment on it any further than just to say that if your district was supposed to vote on somebody for Congress, it's not going to happen in 2 weeks. Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I remember you opened up with something. So that's what that was about. That was
Yeah.
about that. Okay, okay. Yeah, I remember when we first came on, you were saying something about, and that's terrible right there. That's very terrible. But that'll only be for May, because you said they will. There's going to be another election runoff in June, but then we didn't vote for anybody in May because they stopped it. So we'll have to wait to January. I mean to November actually for that voting to be
Well,
done.
unless they call a special election, that's it's up in the air right now. Okay, that we don't the legislature is going to have to approve a plan of redistricting. Whenever they do that, then there'll be another election. When that will be, I don't know. Uh, you know, it's just up in the air. And that's what's so disheartening about it is it's up in the air.
Okay. Yeah. But if I don't know the way these politics doing these days, it was already bad in the old days. But right now it looks like they just doing just whatever they feel like they want to do.
Well, it's a lot of people kind of feel like they don't know what's going on, and that discourages them from voting. But there are things that are on the ballot that are very important, like United States Senator. That's very important, and that's not part of that redistricting order. So that's really important. You need a vote. And
Right,
Louisiana Supreme Court, that's very, very important. You need a vote.
right. You need to vote regardless. You need to vote. You need to go and vote.
Right.
Right,
And
right.
like I said, if you are voting absentee, you will have already gotten your ballot, and it may have on that ballot the race that the governor has suspended. Vote it anyway. Vote it and send it in.
All
Okay.
right. Oh Lord, voting and sending that. Look, hopefully they don't. Hopefully when they get to the registration, whatever it get, hopefully they don't disqualify just because you voted for that. But like you
No,
said,
I mean it's not. They'll either if they end up not counting it because the governor threw it out,
Uh-huh.
that's not on you. Okay, you did what you could do, so vote it.
Right. Right.
Okay.
You're right, Miss. You're right, Miss Alma. But Miss Alma, I don't know. I don't want to just keep you rumbling or whatever. But
Okay.
I hope some of the rest of them get up in here right quick. But I thank you for what all you have given us, and you have given us a lot. If you don't mind, tell them again the name of your organization. And next time you come on, if you can remember, put the name of your organization under your name, like I have Community Awareness Talk Show on mine. Put the if it allows you
Okay.
to, if you allow it to do it,
Okay.
because
We are the
sincerely.
League of Women Voters of Tangipahoa. We have a Facebook page. We have a website. If you don't know how to get on Facebook, I'm sure you, if you have any kids, if you have any grandkids, they know how to get on Facebook, and they can get you where you need to go if you want to get in touch with us. We'd be very happy to have you working with us because we enjoy meeting new people. Everybody's got a different background. Everybody's got different ideas and thoughts, and that's what's necessary for an organization and a community to grow. And so we'd be very happy to have you at our meetings and to work with you. And I thank you so much for having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
And you're so welcome. And I thank you for accepting the invitation and getting all that information out about how people need. Okay, somebody did a comment. I didn't see it. Uh, oh, oh, Miss Jane, you here? Miss Jane, I need you to come on the stage. Uh, that link I sent you, that first link I sent you, I need you to come on the stage. Come on the stage for me. She up in the comments. Um, let me see you the
Is
link.
that Miss Jean?
Yeah,
Is that
Miss
Miss
Jen.
Jean?
Yeah, I don't ever say her name right. Miss Jean, I need you to come in the room, girlie. Miss Lady, she been on the platform so many times, and see, she
Yeah.
understand all that voting stuff. And I know you can't tell nobody who to vote for, but she and I are with the Democrat Party. So I need Miss Jane. Miss Jane, I can't have you up in the background talking about you here. I need you to be here, 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 here. Before Miss Alma get off. I just happened to look up and see that it had comments on this YouTube page. So let me send her the link again. Her and Mike needs to come in here before I get off. I do have to go to work, but I have to 8:30. So we need to get as much information out as we can. And you have did such an awesome job um, holding it down while maybe they come on in, because she did, like I said, she shared with me she had a meeting, because when I was going to do it on Wednesday, she wasn't going to be able to do it, and then you wasn't able to do it on Wednesday. So I said, okay, we're going to have to go for
Hmm.
Tuesday. And Mike said he had a meeting also today, so he's gotten out of his meeting, but of course he got to get home and get settled. And it's like if he decides to come on, it's like he's pushing it. Oh
Okay.
my!
Well, yeah, I can go ahead and sign off, and then maybe Miss Jean can get on, huh?
No, she can get on while you're here. I just sent
Oh.
it to her. So many can be on at one time. So I just sent it to her. Maybe she have time to get on. I'm not even sure, but I did just send a link to her because she told me she was gonna try to get out of her, try to come on as soon as she got out of her meeting. That's why I extended the time, because I knew she had a meeting, and I knew on Wednesday Mike had a meeting. But I didn't really talk to him about today, so I didn't know if he had a meeting. I just sent the text to him, and so he did let me know that he was just getting out of meeting. So I just sent the I just sent it to them. Okay, well, you have told them exactly where to find you at. You told them that you will be on location. Let me show that flyer again. Oh, and for those who might want to sponsor my event, I need to show that flyer so they can know what they're sponsoring. That is going to be their event. Miss Emma, I happen to have been up in ministry, outreach ministry. I started with a youth group, and then I went on to do promoting gospel artists, and then now I'm on radio on Sundays, every other Sundays, and really every Sunday morning doing things at 97.7 FM, The Balls, WFPR 1400 AM. And then I have my own internet radio station, but I am on Sundays at the Balls, and we play great gospel music. We bring on church programming. We make various announcements about different things, and I've been there 20 years. This past May, the first Sunday in May, I've been
Mhm.
on that platform, but I've been doing outreach ministry um, with an organization, Christian Leaders Up Today and Tomorrow, for 35. It was 35 years when it started, but like I said, I went from one level to another level doing other things. And the only reason we're not actually doing the kids like we used to, I have a broke down building that needs to be repaired. And if the Lord open the door for us to get that repaired, I'm going to bring some youngsters in though, because when I started it, I was 27 years old. Now I'm 62. So,
Oh,
so look, I'm gonna have to bring the young people in to deal with them young children.
yeah. You've been doing it a long time.
Right. So, anyway, but again, y'all, on this coming Saturday, Miss Emma will be at this location. There is gonna be a
Mhm.
raffle. Everybody want to get a ticket from me? You can get a ticket. They got a big Mother's Day basket. They got a crawfish cooker and paddle with a paddle. They have a baller with a paddle, a baller with a paddle. Okay, I got another little note. Uh, okay, I just sent it to you, Miss Jane. It's on your phone. I just texted to you again. She was telling me she couldn't find the link. Okay, I just texted to you again. The last one I texted to you, Miss Jane. Okay, she might have it now. Okay, let me let her know I just texted. Okay. Miss Jane, I just texted to you in the same text message, the one I texted you yesterday. Just texted to you. No, you're not on yet. I don't see you. Click that. Copy it and put it in your browser. You have to copy it and put it in your browser. You got me? It's up in your text message. Okay. Well, can you hear Miss Am?
I'm
Can
sorry.
you hear?
I could hear her when she was speaking. Jean, you there?
Yeah. Oh no, Miss. We're doing FaceTime right now, Miss Jane. But click off of this and go to your. I mean, you can talk from here, but people won't really be able to. She said she heard you, but they won't be able to see you though. But you can talk from here. But you can talk from here. But I wanted you on that stage. But I mean, you can talk from here. What you think? Should I insist that she get on the stage, Miss Alma?
Yeah, she should be on the stage.
She said she wants you on the stage, so I'm gonna hang up and just copy that link like you always do, and come on. I just sent it to you in the text message. Okay, all right. Because I was gonna just let her go ahead on talk, but I'd rather her be on the stage. And
The
she always,
technology is great when it works.
yeah, she said that she couldn't find the link, and hopefully by the time she finds the link, Mike might be at home and he can just come say hello to us at least. Yeah, this has been really nice. And you know you can take it and you can share it around to people that you know and ask them to share it to other people. It's actually on Facebook Live and it's on YouTube. So
Okay.
you can just take it and copy it. I had sent right before you came on, I actually sent it from YouTube and told you to tell them to click on it at 6:30. But you probably was busy trying to get on then. You probably was
Yeah, you
busy.
sent me. Yeah, you sent me a link to YouTube, I think.
Right, right. And that link you could share with other people in your text messages or in your email. And then
Right.
maybe listen and maybe share it to other people so they can hear all the information that you gave today and all the information that Miss Jean might be able to give when she come on. And maybe Mike will be able to come on because, like I say, I still have I can still be here another 40 minutes if I have to because I don't have to go to my other job until 9. I need to be
Yeah.
off, but I got to be off at 8:30 because I want to replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it and replay it, and so
Yeah.
I can't go over 2 hours.
Yeah. You don't know how lucky you are. My cat has not made a personal appearance on this broadcast. The cat's been walking around behind me, and I'm trying. Oh no, no, there she is. There's the cat. Oh, gee,
I
that's
see him.
India.
He's famous today, huh?
I have no control over what she does.
Yes, indeed. So, Miss
Mm,
Jane, hopefully Miss Jane can get on, and hopefully Mike can get on. Let me see what Mike is talking about. Are you coming on? Are you coming on, Mike? Are you coming on? Are you coming on? Okay. She should be in here by now. Come on, Miss Jane. Because she knows, baby. I bet you she knows how to explain every one of those every one of those things that's on the ballot for
yeah.
everybody.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oops.
I'm sure
Um.
she knows how to explain all of them. But let me
No.
see. Where's my other device? Because I can pull up. Okay. It said not connected, but she on the thing, but it's trying not to connect her. But she is here. She trying. I see her name.
Mm.
It's not connect. It must be the internet service where she at. But she down up in the back, but it said device is not connected. But it's got her name.
Oh,
It's saying it's not connected. So hopefully it'll connect. Maybe her internet is kind of fuzzy. But
oops.
she it's not letting me bring her up though. Got her display name. Save it. For some reason it's not letting her come on. It's saying that there is an error. There is an error.
Yeah, because she always has good information to give, so she needs to
Yeah.
get on.
Oh yeah, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am. Uh try again. Try again. Yeah, she always have great information. Always have great information. I wish she had two devices where I can text her on one of them. Okay, so she left out because I had texted her and said try again. Uh, she likes to stop in and come in. All right, Jane, if you're listening, just try again and try to come in again. And while she's trying to come in again, don't y'all forget it's going on this coming Saturday at 8:30 a.m. And because so much is going on, They're gonna kick it off. They're gonna start talking. They're gonna open up, and they're gonna start speaking because so many people have so many events to do this weekend. And once our love goes out to the late Pastor Richie Broad's family, who will be funeralized on this coming Saturday. He was a pastor in Greensburg, and he also was a singer, a singer for many years with the Mighty True Friends out of Amen, Louisiana. So he will be funeralized on this coming Saturday um, as well. So that's something that people are going to. Okay, there she goes. Okay, there she goes.
Does that work?
Oh, all right. You see,
I'm so old.
well, we ain't gonna even worry about what happened. Introduce yourself, Miss G, and tell them who you are, what you do, and everything.
I'm Jean Voorhees. I live in Hammond, and I'm a member of the Tangi Democrats and Progressive. I'm the past president, and I'm very involved with the election right now, as is our whole group. We were particularly concerned about the parish changes to the home rule charter. Uh, that was something that I wasn't able to hear your conversation with Alma. I assume you discussed that.
Well, we said something about it, but Miss Alma, her business is mostly making sure everybody gets registered to vote. And then I had her to talk about her organization. Then I had her talk about, she talked about how people need to check and see if they have been put inactive and how if they go there and they say they inactive, if they don't offer them an affidavit to get active again, they need to insist on getting one instead of just walking away and not voting. And she also talked about, I asked her about this craziness that they done not letting us vote for something because of the redistricting or something in Louisiana that's going on. And we did talk about the parish president and the parish council, and I wasn't sure if I understood it correctly. And she read something that made her feel that it was saying something about in 2016 they wanted to have 4 terms, but now we're voting on because I was understanding that I'm supposed to do 3 terms. So anyway, I'm gonna and let you and Anna uh, talk about it. I'm getting a feedback somewhere, Miss Jane. But I'm gonna let you and Miss Emma talk about it, and I'm just let y'all take it. Miss Emma, you ask her some questions. Jane, you ask Miss Emma some questions. I'm gonna step back for a little while. Mike may be coming on too. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, Alma, it sounds like you talked about the inactive voters, which is a very important issue. Uh, I'm concerned particularly about the home rule charter propositions that are on the ballot. I don't know whether you discussed this or not, but there are a number of attempts out there to give misinformation about what's involved with that vote. I don't know if you can see this. I got this in the mail. Can you see that? It says vote yes if
Yeah,
you
we
want.
talked about it. We talked about it. So talk about it for them.
Yes. Well, that's very, very misleading because it says vote yes, keep term limits. And of course, the implication of that, it doesn't say it, but what that implies is that if you vote yes to keep term limits, if you vote no, you will not have term limits, which is not true. And they know perfectly well that it's not true. We do have term limits now. We have 3 consecutive 4-year term limits. That was set in 2015, I believe. and it was overwhelmingly passed, and it is on the books, and we now have term limits. If you vote no on this, we will not lose our term limits. We have them, they were passed by the public, and we have right now the parish council and the parish president are limited to 3 terms each. What this does is it gives them another term. If this
Okay,
passes,
stop, Miss James. Stop, stop, stop. Because, see, it is misleading. Because I just told the people earlier, according to the way it's reading, it says vote yes, keep term limits. So they not supposed to mislead us like that. But I heard Miss Amber went and pulled up something and said that it was saying something about as of 2016, it was voted that you would have 4 terms. So what I'm hearing you saying that okay, well, what this is about, what this said, as I read it earlier, don't let a judge decide our term limits. Vote yes to keep term limits in Tangipahoa Parish. So they're saying that now this is what they're saying.
yeah,
And they say a current lawsuit C202500011743 is challenging how term limits were approved 11 years ago, I guess in 2016.
yeah,
If the court overturns it, term limits could be eliminated entirely if they overturn it. But they said the May 16 election settles the issue, legally reaffirming term limits and making them retroactive to 2016. So what does okay? Is there a definition that I'm missing about the retroactive to 2016? Vote yes to protect term limits in Texas better. So they're saying that if we check yes, uh, there are gonna still be term limits. But you're telling us, from what I'm hearing you saying, that if we vote no, that we'll still have term limits. But
absolutely.
there's some kind of crookedness in there to
Yes.
say if you do yes, the term limits will be over.
In
That's the side.
we have in writing a statement from the president of the Tangipahoa Parish Council affirming that we now have term limits. We have 3 terms. And if this fails, we will still have 3 terms and nothing will have changed. If the yes vote prevails, then the term limits will be changed to 4. It gives them, it doesn't, in state term limits, it gives them longer before the term limits go in effect. It gives them an extra term. And we have that in writing from the president of the parish council. We did a lot of research on this. We looked up that lawsuit that came from Bobby Cortez long after he was off the parish council, like I think in 2020. He was no longer on the parish council. And in 2025, he sued the parish council over this law about you can't have 2 different items under the same proposition. And he made a fuss about it, and the parish made a settlement with him. And the settlement was that if they put on this ballot the the term limits, separating it out in 2 different proposals, then he would drop his lawsuit. Well, they put it on the ballot, and he dropped his lawsuit. There is no lawsuit in place at this point. It's gone. That was cleared with the settlement when they put that on the ballot. But now they're marketing this vote with very, very misleading information. And they're saying that there's no judge involved. There is no active case. The case was settled when they put it on.
You saying. I'm not interrupting you, but I'm not trying to interrupt you. So people like me who have a problem with understanding, people like me,
It's
so
complicated.
that means that I need to tell the people if we want to keep the 3 year term limits and not add a 4th term for whoever is in there or whoever gonna be in there later on, you are absolutely sure that they need to vote no if we
Yes,
want them to show there's not a fourth term for the
correct.
parish president or the parish council.
Correct. Vote no. Ignore those silly flyers. They are misleading and they're careful the way they word it. They don't say vote yes and you will have you will have the term limits for the first time. They don't say that we don't have term limits now. They just imply it by saying vote yes, keep term limits. The implication is that if you vote no, you'll lose your term limits, and that's not true. It is
And you're
not.
absolutely sure because that's what I'm reading, and that's the implication. That's exactly what it's saying. It's
And it's
saying that if you want to, and it's got it in big writing, keep to keep term limits. Look, look, yes.
yeah,
But you're saying they want to add another, and I kind of agree with you because that's what because they got something by 2000. Did they have two? They say 11 years ago, a current, but and you say that lawsuit is not even going because the man then dropped it. So you have did your research, which we have not.
mhm,
So if the court overturns it, term limits could be eliminated entirely. So basically, you're just saying that this stuff is just lies. I mean, that's basically what you're saying.
they,
And
they lied
you,
by implication. They did not say directly that. They implied it. When you say vote yes to keep term limits, the implication is you vote no and you lose term limits. That's
right,
just the logical inference, but they don't state it, so you couldn't sue them. But we did report this to the elections people that this is fraudulent. This
it's
is
very fraudulent. It's
it,
very fraudulent. And so we have to get this word out. Y'all need to share this video and they
yeah,
need to hear what you said. Now in the beginning they're gonna hear what I said. And I said yes to keep the term limits. But you're saying, and I trust your judgment, that we need to vote no and it's gonna stay 3 years. But if we vote yes, it's gonna add a fourth year. It ain't
exactly.
gonna we still gonna have term limits, but it's just gonna be able to keep a president and a council in there a whole nother extra year.
Gives
Just
them
like
another 4 years.
was talking earlier
Yeah,
about in New Orleans, the governors and not the governors, the mayors and the councils have 2 years, which we used to have 2 years here in Hammond. But
mhm,
then some years back, I understand that it was voted by someone that was a councilman at that time. Found out if you can do 12 years as a city councilman, you get a retirement check from the council. Or if you can do 3 years as a mayor, you get a retirement check. So they added another 4 years and another term so they can benefit themselves.
right,
Which ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, everybody want to benefit themselves, but when we're doing these things, we need to let people know what's going on. Why these people doing it? It's not always for the benefit of the people, you know.
exactly. And in fact, our parish president is completing his third term. So it's very relevant for him. If this passes and they get another term, then he'll have another 4 years that he can be in office. If this fails, if we vote no, then he's out of office at the end of this term. And there
And
are several other councilmen in
And
that
see,
same
that's
situation.
what the rumor was months ago. The people were saying that this one was going to run for mayor again, and this one was going to run for past president, and this one's going to do this. But it was a lot. So this is what was going on. All this stuff was going on behind the scenes with people who understand what's going on.
Mm,
And you caught it, and you got with your organization, y'all wrote it. So what I'm understanding, and I don't know, have no problem with Mr. Bobby Miller or nobody else who's doing what. But a long time ago, they wanted to get the people that was in there, like they was upset called Mr. Garden, as I told Miss, as me and Miss Emma was talking, they was upset called Mr. Garden Burgess kept winning and nobody could beat him out. So they decided they wanted to do term limits to
yep.
make sure nobody can stay in there forever again. But evidently they must like Mr. Bobby Miller and they want him to do a fourth term. So they putting this in May in the midterm so it can pass and whoever was trying to run and start over the next 12 years, they don't want that to happen. They want Mr. Bobby to stay in there. Then I had another rumor that they want certain people to stay in certain positions. So then, when those people uh, didn't get in the mayor's race this time, I mean, I'm just keeping it real, all real. They didn't get in the mayor's race this time, and if they can get another opportunity where they at, then they'll come jump and try to be the mayor the next time because everybody likes them. We
Yeah.
got to stop this foolishness.
Yes.
Somebody got to speak up. Somebody got to have some platform to stop the foolishness because there's too much foolishness going on in Tangipahoa Whole Parish for sure.
Yeah.
Too much foolishness. Too much foolishness. So
And
y'all understand that. But
this foolishness
go ahead.
is very expensive. These were printed up, and we know who printed them. I'm not going to say it, but we know who printed them up. And there's also a Facebook page that has this exact same graphic, and we know who put up that Facebook page. And there's a lot of money there. And it asks the question, where did that money come from? It says on here that this was paid for by Battle Pack, Battle Like a Fight, Pack, PAC. And we checked, and that Battle Pack is not registered with the FEC, and I believe they're supposed to. So it's
Woo.
also uh, illegitimate. So
Okay, so that means, and it's already early voting, and a lot of people don't know, but a lot of people don't even vote for that stuff right there. That's another thing that we have to make sure
mm,
people know, especially my black people know. We got to make sure they know that all these propositions and stuff are very important, and don't just vote for, or don't just go out. Because see, many are not going to go out to this election because I almost didn't know about this election. That's why I stay in touch with you, Miss Jenny, so I can know when all the elections going. The reason I knew it was an election is because of Miss Amber really at the second Saturday breakfast was talking about the midterms. Because I don't think we ever voted in the midterms, have we, for these senators and all this kind of stuff? It normally be up in other states. Am I correct? We don't always vote. Louisiana, we don't always vote.
this
Tangible,
is the closed primary.
we're closed primary. You know, that's what I'm saying. Y'all got to teach me all that. Whatever this is, the closed primary, we don't always vote in it. But this year we had an opportunity to vote in it.
This is the first year. To me, it's kind of like in the old days when the two kings would come together to have a joust, and each one would pick his champion, and then the two champions would duke it out. The primaries are like our picking our champion. So the Democrats pick their champion during this primary. So if there are five different Democratic candidates that want to run, they duke it out and see which one wins. And then the Republicans do the same thing, and they get however many candidates want to run. They go against each other, and they pick the one that wins. And then our champion, the one that won our primary, and the Republicans' champion go up together for the election.
So can you tell me this, Miss Jane, because I was sharing information. Uh, I was telling the people that they need to be here on this Saturday because the different candidates are going to be speaking for 3 minutes. And then I did share that if they want an opportunity to be a sponsor of my upcoming event, they can come back over here and they can speak more than 3 minutes individually, and we can ask them some questions. And I'll let you be on the panel, and some other people be on the panel to ask them questions, whether they be Democrat or whether they be Republican, to see what they are offering our state. Because I do vote cross party lines. I'm a diehard Democrat, but I do vote cross party lines. But I normally only vote cross party lines with low potential for parish voting. That's the only time I really vote cross party lines. Or either when you have somebody like when David, if you have somebody like David Duke was trying to fool us and run for a president, something like that. That's the only time I'm gonna really vote cross party lines if I really know that the other candidate really is not qualified or something like that.
Yeah.
So we need to know what's going on. So this flyer here, Miss Jane, uh, we got this flyer, we got this picture that's gonna come up in the community, and I don't have the slightest idea where he's from, who he is. My mama asked me, I told her I don't know, but I'm gonna have a platform that's gonna tell me something. So, are you familiar with this gentleman, Miss?
Yes, I am. I voted for him today. Well, a couple of
Okay.
days ago, I mailed my ballot. Yes,
Okay. So they
him.
say he's gonna appear Saturday, but what do you think? So, who is he running up against? The reason you voted for him? Why did you
He,
vote?
we have three Democratic candidates on the for the primary. That's when we will pick our champion, the one that will go against the Republican champion.
So, who
And
is the other the three? You said we have three.
yes,
Who are
I
the
don't.
other?
I've met one of them. Let me see if I can get their names. Ah, my memory is not very good.
Well, while you looking at that, um, who is who else do we have on our ballot other than him in that category?
Well, there's one man. He's a young white man with a beard, and I've spoken to him, and he's a fine young man. I just like Jamie better, and I don't know who the third person is. I haven't heard much about him, but I've heard Jamie at least three different occasions, and I've had an opportunity to talk to him at some length, and I've been very impressed. He's got a lot of energy. He is a strong person. He's not going to be intimidated very easily, and he would really be a record breaker if he got elected. I was talking to someone tonight. They are trying to, the incumbent that has the seat that Jamie is shooting for is Bill Cassidy, the senator from Louisiana. And no, he's in the House, I'm sorry. And from what I've heard, Bill Cassidy has lost a lot of support. And there are some people that have very good, that he's not polling very well. So whoever the Republicans finally choose, that's who the winner of this primary will go up against. But
Oh,
I can't speak for the other gentleman, but I can speak very positively for Jamie Davis. In fact, I have just got a sign for him tonight, and I'm putting it on my lawn tomorrow.
well, yeah, I needed to know that and what have you, because my mother was also talking about who is these people. She said, because she now is are these the ones who who are the rest who are the rest of these people? Because my mom was saying she don't know any of these people, but she
Yeah,
don't know the other people either. So who are these people right here? Is that a good ticket? Do you recommend that ticket?
is it that's the Democratic Party?
Yes.
Oh, sure, yes. Well, the first one there is Jamie Davis, and I definitely know him. And Lauren Jewett, she's excellent. I've met and spoken to her several times. I don't know Connie Norris, who's running for the Public Service Commission, but Lauren Jewett is excellent. She's running for Congress. We are not able to vote for her now, though, because that's the House seat, and that's the one that has been delayed because of uh, the governor's decision to delay that in the hopes that they change the rules.
I don't see Lauren Jewett. I see Lindsey Grayson.
You may have a different flyer because
Uh,
from
this is number 15, Lindsey Grayson, U.S. Congress, District 5. So that's
yes,
District 5. That's not your district, I guess.
yeah, it's not my. I'm in District One, so I got the candidates for District
But,
One.
but that may be my district.
Yeah,
And Cat North is for District 1. And then they got James Green for the uh, public service,
Commission,
PSC.
Public Service Commission. Yeah,
Okay, that's District 5. Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I would suggest just going online, just Google these people and read what they're bragging about. The things that people brag about will tell you a lot about what they value. If they think something is important and that it's where they're going to put some thought, they're going to brag about it. If it's something that they don't believe, they'd feel shameful about it and they wouldn't wouldn't go bragging.
Okay, okay. Miss Alma had got disconnected, but she thanked for being on the platform, and she may be still listening. But yeah, so how about some of the things that we're voted on, Miss Jane? Can you tell us some other things
The
and
propositions.
and what we should vote yes and no on? Because I really need to know.
Yeah, well, I can tell you what I did, and
Right.
I researched them. The PAR, the Public Affairs Commission, puts out uh, Public Affairs Research Council. They put out a discussion every year of any any constitutional amendments. Excuse me. And I read all of them, and I decided to vote against all of them, even though the wording on some of them, kind of like the flyer that says vote yes if you want term limits, they're worded in a way that give you a false impression, like the one about the teachers' salaries that says, vote for this to give teachers a raise. They're not going to get a raise. They're just going to get the same money that they have gotten. They technically got a raise last year and the year before that. They were one-time deals, and they're just going to make that more or less permanent, but it's not going to give them a penny more in their paycheck than they're getting now. They're just taking it from a different place. They're taking it from some very important uh, reserve, kind of like bank accounts. If you want to save money for Christmas, you set up a Christmas account and you put your money in there and you don't touch it, so you'll have money for Christmas. And if you want to have an account for repairing your roof because it's getting bad, you have your roof account, and you don't go taking those dollars. Those are not free dollars. Those are designated dollars. And the same with the state. They have a number of special accounts, special funds, and they put money in there for specific reasons. And the legislature has decided that that's all money that they would like to use. So they're taking that much of that money out from designated accounts and using that to pay down the debt that's owed by the teachers retirement fund. It's all a lot of moving money from this box to that box. But the bottom
Okay,
line,
so
the
what you said, Jane, is we
what,
vote no. They just not gonna be able to move that money, but they're gonna still have to pay the teachers what they're already paying the teachers.
right,
They
right.
are making it seem like if, but if we vote yes, they're gonna take money from somewhere else, but the teachers not gonna really get it because they already paying the teachers because they can find the money from somewhere else basically. But if we vote yes, they're gonna take it from the wrong place.
Yes, they're going to take it from money that is being saved for a good purpose.
So do the teachers understand that? So the teachers won't think when we say vote no that we are not at them or wanting them not to get a raise. Because do they know that they're not going to get another raise? That's what I'm saying. Do they know that if we vote yes, they're not going to get another raise?
I don't know what they know. I really don't.
But you don't know if they understand the concept either.
Mhm.
Right. So all of the propositions should be no in your opinion.
In my opinion, I looked at all of them, and some of them were very deceptively worded. In fact, most of them were. And well, it's like when Trump wanted to pass his big, beautiful bill, all he would talk about was the tax money. He didn't talk about all the billions of dollars he was putting into ICE and all the detention centers he was going to put up to take people off the street who are minding their own business and lock them up in these uncivilized detention centers. We didn't talk about that. He talked about, and you'll be getting a little extra money. And I did this nice thing over here, and I did this, and it's got about 40 things that it does. And he only talks about the things that he wants that sound good. And it's the same with the constitutional amendments, particularly this batch. There wasn't anything in there that I could agree with.
Okay.
I wish I
Okay.
could find a list of the amendments, but it's not with this stuff.
And I had them.
You have them?
I had looked them up. Give me a minute. Go ahead on and talk to the people for a minute for me, Miss Jane. Something that you think is important that they actually need to know about voting. Like even if you have to talk about what Emma talked about, how they need to really check into their voting, come out to the second side of the breakfast, and get registered if they're not registered, if they don't know if they're still registered. Also, those who have had felons, They need to get reinstated. They need to try to find out what they need to know before the November 3rd election. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead on, talk a minute while I try to see if I can find mine. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Well, my policy is if you're not sure of what an amendment will do, vote no. The only time I vote yes is when I clearly understand it and I've researched it and I'm pretty sure that there's no little hooks in there where you think you're buying a steak and you end up with a can of tuna fish. So often that's the case. And it's because of the careful wording of the amendments. In fact, way back many years ago when we had the vote uh, about video bingo, it got worded on the ballot in such a way that it sounded like if you were voting yes, you were voting actually against it, and if you voted no, you were actually voting for it. And so it switched the vote and it failed. And I think if the proposition had been worded, because the people that put it on there wanted it to fail, but if it had been worded so that you could read the little summary, and you understand then what a yes means and what a no means, then then I think it would have passed because I don't think the people were in favor of it. So be very, very suspicious when you go to the ballot, and you don't have to vote on it at all. If you feel like you haven't really looked into it, then I would just leave it alone. It's better to not vote at all on something than to vote an uninformed vote, to vote on something you really, all you know is the little one sentence that's on the ballot. You can bet your bottom dollar that the little bit that's on the ballot does not accurately convey what that bill will do, what that amendment will do. So it's much better. The best thing is to take just a little time and Google uh, 2026 tangible parish constitutional amendments or Louisiana constitutional amendments, and it'll give you all the information you want. And it'll explain, like with the PAR report, PAR, Public Affairs Research Council, PAR. If you just Google 2026 PAR report, you can get the whole document. They tell you what a yes vote will do, what a no vote will do, what we have now, and what would happen with a yes or a no vote. And it's very, very valuable to have that kind of neutral perspective because the world right now is so crazy. It is just diddly squat nuts. And the only way that anything rational is going to come out of it is if the voters take seriously the fact that they have power. These constitutional amendments are not harmless. They're designed to accomplish something. My husband used to always say, things are the way they are because powerful people want them that way. So the people that put these together, they may or may not have your best interests in mind. So it's important. Of all the things that we spend time doing, we don't have that many elections. Just take a little bit of time and look into these things. The ballot will be in the newspaper. It'll be online. It's on GoVote. There are lots of places to find out what's on your ballot. And just do a little research. Find out what the whole thing means, not just the little sentence that they put on the ballot, and then make a decision based on that. You know, everybody has the right to their own vote, and you can vote. If you choose to vote yes on every bit of it, right down to the 2 parish ones, God bless you. I'm glad you voted. It's important to vote. And you don't have to vote the way I vote. I vote the way I feel, and I'm just one separate person. But it's very important that people inform themselves about what's on their ballot. It's a very short one this time. It's just, in my case, just one Senate race and 7 amendments, 5 to the state constitution and 2 to the parish charter. But it's important to vote. If you love your country, and goodness knows it's in a mess right now, if you love your country, take the time to research your ballot. find out what's going to be on there before you get in the booth. If you get in the booth and try to figure out how to vote by reading those little statements underneath each amendment, you're going to be misguided. It's not really going to give you any kind of a clear picture. And if you knew what they really said, you would not probably vote that way. Welcome
Okay,
back.
Miss, yeah. Okay, I pulled mine as the ballot. It said, now this is what I can't vote for, right? Oh no, this is one I can vote for. The U.S. Senator for the Democrat Party is Nicholas Nick something something and Gary Crackett or either Jamie Davis. So that's
Right.
Jamie Davis you recommend.
That's
Okay,
one. Yeah.
the first thing here it says to op- to authorize the addition, removal of positions in the unclassified state civil service by law
Yes.
amendment.
That's another one of those that sounds like a good idea, but that civil service is very important. That protects the civil servants, people that are not political. It protects them from politicking. And when there are non-civil service jobs, a new administrator comes in and he can just fire everybody that the previous administration put in there. That's the way it works in government, except for civil service. For civil service employees, they're not supposed to be able to do that. The only way you could fire a person is if they were not doing a good job. And what this would do, it would give the legislature the capacity to turn civil service jobs into non-civil service jobs so they can be fired, and that they could add people uh, that are not in civil service. Read that again. I think it can make some jobs civil service and put people into civil service jobs that are not there now. And
It
take
go ahead to read more. It says, do you support an amendment to allow the legislation to remove or add officers, positions, and employees to the unclassified state
yes,
civil service?
right. And the unclassified means they can fire them, and the civil service cannot be fired. That's
So it
that's
said remove and add. You're right, right. So yeah, yeah. So
protect.
that's no. You don't
If
support them to let them do that. Uh, we're gonna have to come back on before maybe next week before the 16th because I am gonna have to keep this under 2 hours in order for it to replay and replay. But basically, you said no. She also says no to the next one that says to provide authority for a parish to classify and authorize exemptions related to the Volocon taxes, VOLOCEM taxes. She says no. That's Amendment 4. Uh, Amendment three was to fund a teacher's pay raise by paying down debt of the teacher's retirement system of Louisiana. Okay, now they
we talk,
saying pay down the retirement of the debt that they are. I understand that one completely. Just reading that part, they are saying like she said that they want to take money out of something else that's important, and I don't even know what it is. Miss Jane researched it, and to pay down the teacher's retirement debt. But it's not saying you teachers are going to get any more money. It's saying the retirement debt that they already giving y'all, the money they already giving y'all, the money that they have already allotted out for y'all. Now they want us to say yes for them to go take this money from somewhere. Like I've learned on one of my other platforms, how they want to stop people from getting Social Security and want people to retire at 70. And every time, the only reason why Social Security is running out is because every time they want to get money for something, they go take it out of the Social Security. Because so many people are paying Social Security because we all work. We're putting into Social Security. So Social Security got a big old chunk of money for us to get when we retire at 62 and 67, but they want to raise the age to 70 only because they think we're going to run out. 'Cause every time they need extra money for something, they go into the Social Security account. So this is what they're saying here. They want to go into Social Security account or they want to go into some other account and pay down what they owe the teachers. This is not saying the teachers are going to get a raise. It's saying that they're going to go into what Miss Jane just explained to us. They're gonna go into something that needs this money to try to pay down the debt that they done obligated to pay teachers in the raise she said they gave them a couple years ago. Am I following you correct, Miss Jane?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So no, no, no. No to Amendment 1 about the removal of the civil service. No to Amendment 2 about, I don't even know what this is, to grant St. George Community School System the authority to operate a school system. She said she read up on it. She said no. I take her word for it. The teachers, to fund a teacher's pay raise by paying down debt of the teachers' retirement system of, oh, they saying it's a debt, so to get them a raise and pay down their debt. But she said she read up on it. The things that they want to take money from, if we say yes, is something that's important that's gonna make somebody laugh. Probably health care, because they always want to attack health care. Ain't no
Mhm.
tell. Uh, then you got the Amendment 4 to provide authority for a parish to classify and authorize exemptions related to this particular tax. No. Uh, number
Is that
5.
is that the inventory tax?
Yeah, introitory tax, yeah. And then
That's a
it's
one,
huh?
but that's a complicated one. But
Okay.
many people.
I got about 3 minutes, so I gotta hurry on.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Change the mandatory retirement age of judges from 70 to 75. No, indeed. No, don't change their retire age. They need to retire at 70. No. We
Absolutely.
don't, uh, and then this other one, parish-wide home rule charter amendment proposition 1 and 2. No, they told y'all yes, but no, no, no. They want
Amen.
to give another 4 years. They don't want to keep the 3 years that they already have. If you vote yes, they're gonna give them another term of 4 years. Three is enough because we agreed on that a long time ago in 2016. Okay, and personally, I didn't care if they stayed in there forever, but since they wanted them to have term limits, we're gonna keep it at 3. We're gonna keep it at 3. Okay. So y'all follow me? Follow me? Okay. And then the parish-wide home rule charter amendment proposition 2 of 2, same thing. Uh,
One
no.
is one
Well,
is
we
about one's about the parish council, and one is about the president, parish
All
president.
right. Well, thank you, Miss Jane. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for Miss Jane coming on here and clarifying that proposition for that extending of the president and the council.
And Miss Renee, these are just my opinions.
Okay.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and they need to decide how they're going to vote. I'm just
Well,
telling you.
thank you. We thank you for her coming on and clarifying so we can better to know how to make our choices in our vote. And Lord, we thank you for Miss Amber. We ask you, Lord, that you will keep on blessing her with what she's doing to try to make sure every voice is heard and every vote counts. Until next time, we say God bless. All right. See you later.